Rooted and Rising family, welcome in, welcome in. Let's ring the sound bowl. Let's ring the sound bowl. Clear out all those unwanted negative energies. Love it. Okay, definitely another collective reading today. Yes, collective reading today. So we get all those disclaimers out of the way. This is, once again, a collective reading. So we take what resonates, we leave what does not. Not everything is for everybody. All right. Some parts of the message may really be like, oh, this is for me. Other parts, it's like, not so much. It's a collective reading. All right. Meaning we're going to pick up on collective energies, right? So all of it may not be for you. Once again, take what resonates, leave what does not. Some of it may not feel like it resonates with you at all. That is okay. If you just like to rest in a, you know, wonderful, warm energy, there's nothing wrong with that. And have a great story time, entertainment time, wonderful. And sometimes it may fit down the line because sometimes things are unfolding and spirit is revealing what is unfolding instead of maybe what is going on currently, or sometimes what has already happened. So it may resonate with you and give you some more peace in knowing something or more clarity in something that already happened. Okay. This is Oracle decks, Tarot decks, where there is no gender, there is energy. So when masculine, feminine is spoken of, we're talking about energies and the attributes of the cards that are pulled. All right. My preference is male. All right. That doesn't mean when I speak male, female, I'm telling you that's what your preference is. You pair yourself however you choose to pair yourself. I will mention how I am paired because that's what resonates with me. So that's how I will naturally speak. But nobody is impressioning on you that that is what your preference is. You will have to place your preference however it applies to you. Okay? All right, let's get started. When we do use the tarot deck, this is the Grim Tales Tarot deck we're going to use. Used it before, but I like to, again, always say which decks I'm using if I can for the most part, just in case people just want to know and just want to go get it. I'm going to move this incense on out of the way. Not going to forget this time and wonder why something is wafting. And let's do it. All right, we're going to start off with an Oracle deck. And I think this one will be pretty fun, pretty revealing. It's called True Intentions, a Mind Reading Oracle. All right, let's start off with this Oracle deck. And let's get the true intentions. I love the bottom card. All right, plans. Seeing you is a priority for me. I want to make plans with you. All right, we are going to do their true intentions. This is about mostly divine pairings and divine connections. So we want to get the true intentions of our divine connections. You know, our divine feminine, divine masculine. What are their true intentions? All right. And since we seem to have a lot of energy going on with the rooted and rising divine feminine, divine masculines, our empresses, our emperors of, past karmics wanting to either hold on and not let go or wanting to reappear, resurface, cause trouble. What would be their true intentions on trying to reach out and connect with us once again? Is it just, sometimes resolution, sometimes it's an apology to resolve something so they can move on? Or is there something hidden underneath? Is it wanting to get back for their own intentions, or maybe they have good intentions? Just even if their intentions are the best, it still doesn't mean we want to reconnect. So we're going to contrast the intentions between our divine partnerships, where we're headed, or what's unfolding now for some, and the past connections that either don't want to let go or have been recently let go. And we're going to see the difference there. Okay. All right. We'll get started. But somebody wants to make plans. All right. So we'll start with our divine pairings. 'Cause why not start off with something light? You know, a lighter energy. I love that. Amusement. Oh, and it made me laugh. Amusement. I find your stories comical and your life a source of entertainment. And it can go both ways, but somebody likes to be in your energy. And it doesn't seem like, at least the energy coming off the cards doesn't seem like a negative thing. That's why we're going to, my intention is to start off light. Oh, well, all these came out. Okay. Plans. Confession. We know rooted in rising. Have been scolded multiple times about not confessing something. A hidden truth is ready to surface, exposing what's been concealed. Now that can go both ways. All right. But my intentions were the divine pairings. Somebody has something to tell someone. Remember, last reading we got was that unsent text message, and Spirit also told you from the money manifestations deck that there was some unfinished business with that unsent text message. So they're addressing it again. Not going to get away from it, rooted in rising. Someone wants to apologize. I'm sorry. I feel terrible about what I did, and I owe you an apology. Just because it's an apology doesn't mean that, this is from a karmic ex. All right. Reconciliation is still a thing for the rooted in rising, because some of you will be reconciling with a past connection. All right. There was, was that the last reading? Yes, there was betrayal energy, but sometimes in infidelity, when we're talking about that kind of betrayal, sometimes there is a reunion, a reconnection, that's their prerogative. All right, especially when there's family involved, often you'll see reconciliation in those circumstances. All right, we don't get to judge, all right? But somebody wants to apologize, whether it's for something like that or something else. But again, the energy coming off of this doesn't feel malevolent, okay? Feels like a genuine apology. And honesty. Someone wants to bring honesty. I will be truthful and transparent in all interactions, even when it may be difficult. All right. So far, somebody wants to make plans and make you a priority. And seeing you is what it sounds like. Making plans and also seeing you will be a priority to them. All right. So if you're coming out of connections where you were just on the back burner and they'll deal with you whenever they feel like dealing with you, breadcrumbing you, treating you like an option, that kind of thing. This is saying, I'm going to treat you like a priority. And I'm make you feel like and know that you are a priority to me, that you are important. Someone has something to say. Rooted in rising has been scolded multiple times about spirit for keeping feelings to themselves. Someone has this feels genuine, apology. And wants to offer to, either the divine masculine or feminine. And someone wants to let you know that their intentions are honesty with you. Even difficult, situations where it is, to be honest. But they want to let you know that deep down, their intentions, their true intentions is honesty. Not to fool you. They're not playing games with you. Not where you're headed. Maybe a couple more from this deck. All right. And then we might clarify one or two of these cards here. All right, what else? For the rooted in rising divine pairings. The true intention for the divine masculine, divine feminine, and their divine pairings. Yeah, rooted in rising, because this all came out at the same time. Big man. me tell you. And a lot of times, if we're talking about divine pairings, where you are headed, sometimes, as I mentioned before, these are energies, right? The energy of that person leaks through. So I'm talking about where the rooted and rising, masculine, feminine energies are headed in their connections. And we have a lot of betrayal energy, right, from the past that doesn't want to let go. Even if they've been let go, sometimes their energy leaks through. All right, no, we're not getting away from gossip. You'll be eager to hear this, but beware what I say about others could easily be said about you. What I'm going to show you is not the intention of where you're headed, but this is what's holding on to you. All right. Currently, gossip. You're dealing with that. You already know that. Closure. All right. It's time to resolve unfinished business and move forward in our lives. This is what you all did. Rooted and rising. So, slander. Probably slandering or trashing your name with where you're headed. So masculine energy, maybe hearing from whatever past energy that doesn't want to let go. Slanderous things about where they think they're headed. Feminine energy, maybe hearing the same thing, from the past connection. Just stirring up nonsense. I'm only saying past because these two came up. Past bad news. All right. All together. Closure. You all know you ended something. The past is bad news. They're gossiping. Or slandering your name. All right. Obligation. You're a nuisance and I feel obligated to associate with you. Some of you who still have to deal with these past connections if you have children sometimes. Or if you were in a contractual connection that is still dissolving, yeah, you're obligated. But you were like, you're a nuisance. Yeah, basically, I can't wait till this is completely closed. All right. Let's see a couple more, maybe. Oh, yes. Don't want to let you go. Very, very mad. The thing what I'm getting about this energy is that they instead of moving on, these cards. What's that? Look, now I can't get it. I said, what's that? Just caught my eye. Now it's acting a fool and trying to fall. Big favor. I'm like, what is this about? Big favor. I'm looking for significant assistance and a large effort on your part. Y'all are already dealing with this energy. That betrayal energy. I'm looking for significant assistance and large effort on your part. Big favor. And since you already know you were dealing with betrayal energy, and the type of betrayal, the ones that just wasn't infidelity, it had a lot to do with money moves. You already know what this is about. All right. And these energies, some of these things may be unfolding, going on right now, or unfolding down the line. It's like, that's what's coming. But anyway, it's like the energy would rather, instead of moving on with their life and even themselves healing, and securing whatever they need to secure to move on, it's like their focus is so heavy on them coming to you, divine feminine, divine masculine. It's like they don't care about moving on. And it's like they don't care even about getting their lives together. Their focus seems to be so much on you. For whatever reason, they are so upset. But anyway, on with where the connection is heading, love. I will be a positive force in your life and only want to bring you peace and happiness. All right. check in. I want to catch up, make sure you're doing well, and see where we stand. Okay. Don't feel ill intentions over that card. So you got a lot of plans, and that's mainly plans and checking in coincide. All right. Checking in, if some of you, this is unfolding, you're in the beginning stages of it unfolding, then that makes sense. Checking in, seeing how you're doing, because you're still getting to know each other in that beginning phase. All right. Also, if we have apology energy, I'm sorry, but I also want to check in, kind of see where we stand. Is this reconcilable? Are you willing to reconcile? That's only for some of you, obviously, And I say the ones that were dealing with infidelity, because mostly people who were dealing with money moves and people aren't going to want to reconcile with people taking money from them, okay? But we're not judging. I'm sorry, checking in. So maybe that has to do with just checking in, seeing where we stand, seeing if this is something we can reconcile, especially for those who have children and likely younger children. All right. But confession, someone has something to say, likely for those who still haven't sent that text message. But what you're getting is love and honesty. Two very important things, right? So very simple, right? But love and honesty is where you're headed. It's genuine. It's beautiful. You still got this going on. Closure has happened. All right. Past connections have ended. Big mad. How could you? I'll show you. I'll tell everybody we know that, you left me because of X, Y, and Z. I'll keep, talking and putting my mouth on the rooted and rising, divine, feminine, and masculine. And I'm going to dig deep down off into this divine judgment I'm under because I'm stubborn and I don't want to learn because I don't think that I'm the one that's wrong. It's everybody else. It ain't me. I'm going to do all that I can to slander you. All in all, Spirit says they're bad news. Who's the bad news? I want to clarify one thing out of this deck, and we're going to move on to this here. Bad news over here. I don't even really want to tap into their energy, but I'll do it. All right. Yeah. I want to see, I guess, let's see what this I'm sorry is about. Let me see if this deck sometimes will do it. Something tried to come out. Hold on. So even this. Anyway, what I was saying before I got cut off. The I'm sorry. Even this is still about this. This connection comes with a price tag. It's calculated, strategic, and dripping in dollar signs. Now, we'll go further and we'll get one more card on that. Because just because it may have had something to do with infidelity doesn't mean if what I showed you earlier about this, you know what I mean? Somebody might have been with somebody who was a gold digger. Lord. Pressure has been building for too long. This situation's one spark away from full-blown combustion. All right, one more on what this sorry is about. Some of the cards I keep seeing. Both of them. Oh, something's behind that one. Oh. You can be looking down like, oh, okay. Court date, because we know that rooted and rising, there was closure about something. We spoke about that last time anyway. So court date, courtroom might be the stage. The real drama started long before the documents were filed. So closure did happen. Something did end. That's what this I'm sorry is about. About a little gold digging action. This is not the money moves, and the money moves as in somebody embezzling in a sense. All right. Court date closed something. This apology is about living and learning. Mistakes were made, but what matters is what's being done differently now, and they're apologizing because of this. So, it looks like the live and learn over here. And I'm not saying that this is only... I'm not saying that I'm going to just speak of gender here. All right, again, I'm not saying that this is your case. I'm not saying that it was only, this gender. But this sounds like a man. Likely married. Having an affair with a gold digger. Boiling point. Court date. Something ended. It closed. I'm sorry. All right. All right. That's news. But they're sorry. What you choose to do, rooted in rising divine feminine likely, or, feminine likely. Yes, energy. Feminine energy likely. It's your prerogative. No one can tell you what to do. Because sometimes this is genuine and can be worked through. Not for everybody. You know what I mean? And you might be considering it, especially if you have a family. All right. Well, that's what that I'm sorry is about. Secret affair. Somebody has lived and learned. They've learned their lesson, obviously. Losing you, your divine being. So you're not replaceable. Likely, whatever this had to say about you, they knew that you're irreplaceable. All right. You're one of a kind. All right. You don't find a divine being every day, and connect with them. That's what this I'm sorry is about. And when they were doing what they were doing with them, they knew the truth about you. That's why they're under divine judgment. All right. Whatever energy that is, this is gone and done too. And he don't want that. He wants you. I'm saying he, yeah. Doesn't mean it fits for every situation now. All right. Not making no judgments. It is what it is. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Oh, I like this little deck. Let's do this little deck for the connections that are coming in. Yes, some are reconciling. I know this pile was for the ones that were reconciled. This first pull was for the divine connections, masculine and feminine. And just because likely the male energy, in this case I'm saying male, doesn't mean that that's what it is the one.
You've got a text message.
Is the one that yes. Don't y'all love that notification? I do. Somebody's gotta call you beautiful every day. Just because that energy may have, may have learned a hard lesson. Obviously they did, because live and learn. It doesn't mean that that's still not a divine connection. All right, look at the bottom. Unexpected surprise. Some of you are getting unexpected surprises. Oh, yes, Lord. My heart said bundles of joy. So whatever that means. Maybe somebody wants a bundle of joy. See, ain't no turning back. But whatever lies ahead for all scenarios, it's done. All right, let's see. One more here. Yeah. Sea of despair, feelings, helpless soul, drowned, selfish, gloom, clueless, sorrow, empty. This seems like this live and learn energy. has to do with this. All right, doesn't mean it's not a divine connection, okay? Just because there was some things that occurred. All right. Okay, so let's go into the other energy here, which kind of leaked in about this bad news past, and I'm assuming that what I feel like it did is leaked in because of this live and learn portion here of that scenario. Okay, again, nobody's touching. And divine feminine, divine masculine, whatever energy this resides in, you don't let anybody, yeah. I don't know. There is just on this scenario, because this is a scenario for somebody, and this may be somebody who has a platform or a standing. People know them, so visible. You know what I mean? Probably social media platform, known that way. And I feel like there was a lot of this. And I think it leaked out, this gossip energy, bad news past, all right, because of this. Because you probably were very visible. And, in your connection, you were probably very visible. And whatever energy was having in this secret affair was somebody who only wanted that. He was just, that's all she was to him, or he was to her, pretty much. All right. And I believe there's just a lot of this about that, because I think whoever this situation has something to do with is it's very visible, known, social media. All right. Has a platform. All right. So this would come out. All right. That's bad news. That past energy. So we already knew that. All right. On to this energy here. The betrayers. All right. All in all, that got put with where you're headed to, because reconciliation is still here. The apology is genuine. It's not I'm just over here saying sorry because there's another agenda, because none of that came out. All right. Only thing that came out was love and honesty. And obviously infidelity is not very honest, but their intentions are still plans, love, honesty. And this is for all of the rooted and rising, the collective masculine, feminine. But I'm just saying about why that poured into this. All right. For those who are reconciling, that energy is genuine. And that's for the ones who are dealing with the infidelity, not the other ones. All right. Well, now we know what this big favor is. I couldn't even get to shuffle the card. And I tried to put it back in. I was like, no, you will put me on this table. Okay. Like, no, I'm going to put you back in this deck. It's like, no. Divine feminine, divine masculine, the karmic exes. All right. This is first one that I slid on out. Didn't even get to shuffle. Tried to put it back in there. And it was like, no. Lust. I bring intense desire, a magnetic pull fueled by passion, seeking satisfaction without restraint. Now, we got to know the difference between lust and love. Passion does reside in love, but we know what lust is. All right. The pause was me debating whether I was going to say something revealing me, but we'll see. I got my deck that way. Let me have it. Brag. I will always enthusiastically share amazing things happening in my life. So they're focused on themselves. So far we have lust and brag. All right. Karmic past for the rooted and rising. Misunderstanding. Things got lost in translation and taken out of context. Direct communication will clear the air. So they believe there's just a misunderstanding and they want to talk to you. Somebody wants revenge. Better be careful. Rooted and rising. I'm looking to... wow. This card. Something else. Woo. Big mad on that one. I'm looking to damage you in retaliation for perceived wrongs. So not even wrongs that really happened. Whatever I feel like you did wrong. Wow. Okay. Wow. Mm-hmm. Apology. I'm not yet over what happened, but an apology could mend things. A lot of apology energy going on here. An apology could mend some things. At least that's how they feel. And maybe one or two on this karmic energy. Okay. All right. We got the two. See what the bottom is. The bottom is distraction. I will interfere with your goals and waste your time and energy. Well, if that ain't telling on yourself, that ain't telling on yourself. Envy. Oh, what came out is no picnic either. Sabotage. I'm deliberately working to undermine your efforts and place obstacles in your path. Wow. And then this one, last one, is greed. I'm pursuing wealth and power with no regard for ethical or moral boundaries, which we already know because there were a lot of money moves being made and betrayal energy. All right, let's clarify some things here. We're going to clarify this apology, kind of see if it's genuine. And just because they are in betrayal energy and a little delusional doesn't mean apologies aren't genuine or if there's a motive behind the apology. I'm just thinking of the chill, like, oh, well, let's see what Jack, we'll do that one next. I'll do that one after the read. What is this apology about? Why do they want to apologize? That came out. All right. Apology for the shady dealings. There's money, influence, or power changing hands in a way that isn't meant to be traced. They want to apologize for that. Drama Queen wants to apologize. All right. But we got a lot of lust maybe trying to apologize. I want to apologize to you. That's what that lust card is about. They want to apologize. Do a little dance. Too late to apologize, yeah. But it's too late because you didn't already had closure in that first one. But that's what that lust is about. They want to apologize using that. I just want to apologize to you. I really am sorry. Distraction. Because ultimately they plan to sabotage. And they're ultimately greedy. All right. We'll do one more on this apology, maybe from this deck. Maybe they just want to apologize for what they did, but I'm not getting that. Maybe not. Let me see what that's about. Two. Oh, I flipped him in somewhere. Doing the work. twist. New info just dropped and it's juicy. Suddenly the dots connect and the real story is showing up. Whatever that means about this apology. Oh. I don't think that this apology is going to go anywhere because Rooted and Rising is doing the work. Growth is happening behind the scenes, healing patterns, owning truths, and unlearning survival mode. Real story is showing up. So I don't think Rooted and Rising is very unclear about what this apology is really about. But we will make sure. It may be genuine. The apology may be genuine. It doesn't mean that, you know, they've changed. Let me see. What they still intend to do in this apology. They intend to do something different. Emotional unavailability. Doesn't look like it. Let's see what else this apology comes with. Just a lot of emotional withholding. Public humiliation, emotional withholding. Doesn't seem like... And that's from the Toxic Relationship Oracle deck. So it's not just shady dealings. There was emotional unavailability, public humiliation, probably of all kinds, arguing, emotional withholding, once again, coldness. All right, well, what about the apology? Is the apology genuine? It don't seem like it is, because every card I try to get, it look like Rooted and Rise, and it's like, nope, move on. Like, y'all are done. Y'all don't give a damn if it is. Every card I flip is like, that same one, move on. Wow. Well, let's see if the apology is genuine, or if it has something underneath it. Nope, it keeps saying, let go, move on. Cold digger. Yeah. I don't think it is. Nope. I flipped that. Nope. They are apologizing for this. Not, I'm sorry I did this to you. It's more like, I need you still. So they're still just, ultimately, the apology is still regarding this being what they want. Not like they want true, not even reconciliation, but true closure in a true mending of something, you know? No. And what else came out is, no. Fate, karma, something ending, something beginning, cycles. All right. Something is ended. It's over, and something new is already beginning. That is your divine connection. Either way it goes, Spirit is saying no and no. And Rooted and Rising, it seems like y'all have already made up your heart, your mind, all of your energy is like, I don't care if you genuine or not. All right. So it says they'll be back. No, it's not the right time. They'll be back. So again, they refuse to let go. This is them refusing to let go, as in no. And this is Spirit telling you no, as in because they still just ultimately want this. But they don't intend on letting you go. Even if you have let them go. Or it's like, so they intend on being a nuisance for as long as they can be. Well, oh, wow. Rooted and Rising. Um, well, if you had any plot questions, if you had any questions as to whether, I guess, intentions were great if you've already received an apology, because sometimes people in this energy are very good at these are gaslighters and manipulators. They're very good at making you feel like you're the one that's wrong, even though you have just said no. You hip to the game. But the apology could have been, if it's happened already, could have really been something that you felt was really genuine. Not that you were considered taking it back, but now there's no question that it's just the apology. Maybe like I was thinking of a different song, but I'm not going to sing that. Anyway, they want to use this as a tool to apologize. All right. I know you used to like it. I know how you like it. I still remember what you like, baby. Let me put it on you. But ultimately, it's just a distraction, because it's really about sabotage, greed, revenge. They believe this is just a misunderstanding. It wasn't that serious. You just misunderstood everything that went wrong. And everything I did to screw you over. The lies, the manipulation, the coldness, using maybe sex as punishment, belittling you, controlling you, being jealous for no goddamn reason. All of those things were just misunderstanding, taking money and putting it here and using it how I wanted to use it and lying. Just one big misunderstanding. Let me make it up to you, Daddy. You have it all wrong. Yeah. Well, if you're unclear, you're clear now. Let's see what this plot twist is about really quickly. We didn't touch tarot today, so let's see. What is this plot twist about? Remember, this came out. All right, where the new info just dropped and it's juicy. Suddenly the dots connect and the real story is showing up. I believe that was probably tied to what really came out when it was revealed about what was going on. But it may be about another situation or something new. Maybe about their new connection, or you all's new connection. Oh, that's a plot twist of the world. All right. The completed cycle. Ace of Pentacles. Yeah, that's the start and the beginning of something real intangible. All right, it's like that was already offered. Let me be clear. Yeah. Oh, let me see. Oh, no. Oh. Four of Pentacles. Okay. Four of Pentacles and the Ace of Pentacles. That usually that's the opening of the start of something tangible, something real. It's like our beginnings, starts, opportunities. But this is speaking of the tangible. All right. The Four of Pentacles is the holding on of something. The plot twist came out. I don't think this has to do with money, but it could be. Four of Pentacles is like miserly behavior, holding, being greedy, which you got this about their true intentions is to still be greedy. Holding on to resources. It could be protecting, but not in this situation. This is the holding on of resources. That's the plot twist. When the new info just dropped, juicy, dots connected. That's when Rooted and Rising put it together about this person holding on to resources of some sort. All right. And said, okay, now we're doing the work on ourselves. Yes, emotionally, but the first initial cards bringing closure. Also, I feel like this energy was holding on to something tangible. So maybe property or something, or at least trying to hold on to it. All right. And being a nuisance there. Okay. So not just money. I think even whatever they could, because greed does. All right. If this is a connection where there were assets or property or something, I think this energy also wanted to hold on and be a nuisance there. But all the dots connected. All right. Because as the last reading showed, divine justice. It means judgment issue, justice served. All right, but the dots connecting was the plot twist. That is, y'all were like, that's why I said I don't get no energy of wanting to reconnect. Reading the Rising said, no. The only genuine energy what came from the initial spread about the divine connections, about that genuine apology there. That is the only genuine energy. This, no, not at all. Not at all. All right, I'm going to pull for this deck just because I want to start working with it and get to know it a little bit. And I'm just eager to see what they have to say. Again, the true intentions of the karmic energy. And then we can close it out. And this was just as, let's see where intentions really lie. Where lessons really learned. So true intentions of the karmic energy. You know what they had to say about it. Mixed emotions. You feel excited and scared at once. Your heart can't choose a direction. Both possibilities feel real. So they got a lot going on in the mind. I don't think this is you. If justice is being served, they likely are out on their ass. All right. I got a lot going on. Like, this can't be real. This can't be over. It's not real. It's not over because I'm not letting them go. I don't know which one of these to take. Received already. Too many opinions. I'll be clear. Oh, too many opinions. Everyone has commentary. Not every voice deserves space. Silence gives clarity. Too many opinions. You all had a lot of outside energy coming up before. But in the context of what I asked, I still think this is that karmic energy. Just talk. How could you? This can't be over. How dare you? You betrayed me. You did this to me. I'm the victim. You just want to go be with some whore. How could you leave me? We'll do one more and be done with this. The whole thing just shot out. I'm not going to read all of the... Oh, somebody got... Choose yourself. Okay, hold on. We'll be clear on... Oh, this is all flipped around. Hold on. Energy's mad. Flip my cards back and forth and all around. Not this again. Y'all are done. The same drama returns. You're tired because it's familiar. This time, see it clearly. You're like, not this again. Not this shit again. All right, and if you're not like this, spirit is like this. See clearly. See it for what it is. You don't need to repeat. If you're in the middle and in between, not this again. Which the energy is saying that y'all are confused. They want you to detach with grace. That's the message for, I don't think you in rising, because I really get that y'all are done. This energy just does not want to let go. They're just saying, why are you holding on? Let go. It has ended. Cycles. That means the wheel is turned. The wheel turning with the Wheel of Fortune in the Tarot. When the wheel is turned or a cycle has ended or closed, that means something's ended, something began. There's no turning it back. That means it's called divine order. Like, you can be a nuisance all you want. You can't turn the wheel. All right. It means it's divine order and divine timing. So the wheel has turned. You can't do anything to turn it back. All right. You can try this energy. They'll be back. No, but ultimately it's still this energy here, because you ultimately want revenge. You know what I mean? Which is why you're in divine justice right now, in order to sabotage wherever Rooted and Rising is going, because you're greedy and you don't want to go do the work for yourself, on yourself, and for yourself, to be a distraction. All right, to brag about what you didn't earn and what you don't really have. All right. Yeah, align with your truth. Respect your limits. That's what they want you to do. Respect your limits and align with your truth, rising. But spirit, the other image is like, why are you holding on? Divine feminine, divine masculine has moved on. And it doesn't mean they moved on to a different connection. And if they do, that's their prerogative. But they have moved on from you. And the wheel is turned on it. That's divine timing, divine order. There's no turning the wheel. What you have received is divine judgment, because they get divine justice for the nonsense that they were put through. So learn. And yes, I'm speaking to that other energy because that's all they do. It's a bunch of spy energy. So they watching you closely. All right? Move on. Somebody don't want you, they don't want you. The best thing you can do is move on. All right, you're going to cause yourself a lot of heartache, a lot of turmoil, a lot of unnecessary hardship. All right? Because divine energies are divinely protected. Spirit is going to go and bring justice like never before. And if you continue to poke the bear, you're just going to make things harder for yourself. Work on yourself. Move on. Because everything is saying that rooted and rising is done. There's no amount of, hey, let me talk to your daddy, that's going to do it. It might work one night, but that'll be all it'll be. That'll be all that it will be. All right. Well, rooted and rising. We got to see the true intentions of that past energy. There is a divine connection that is genuinely sorry, genuinely in real heartfelt apology energy that is in the living and learning, as in they are in the stage of they've learned their lesson, but they're in the stage of doing the work. All right. They are not like this fake apology, as in, I'm going to come on and give me a date night. Let me put it on them real good. And, the things I said I wouldn't do while we were together, let me do it. That's going to get you. It's not that energy where it's a fake pretend apology, but underneath it is still, I have an agenda and I want what I want. And I haven't changed. I just don't want you to move on. It's not that energy. There is a divine pairing where one energy is genuinely apologetic and genuinely trying to do the work and genuinely is doing the work and has closed that chapter with that energy. All right. With that gold digging energy over there. All right. Who he was tricking his money off on. And basically that's what she was to him. And that's all she wanted from him. But she was willing to sabotage what y'all had going on to do it. Okay. There is that energy of genuine apology there, okay? Where reconnection is what is wanted, but reconnection, it's like testing the waters to see if that's possible, but it's genuine, all right? It's not, I'm not coming to play games with you, all right? I am coming to do the work, and hopefully we can build together and get through this together and heal together, all right? There is that energy there. All right. And then it's not this nonsense over here. Okay. Well, I have gone on long enough. I don't have words of wisdom to close in. We were just seeing intentions. Okay. All right. All right. As always, rooted and rising family, stay rooted, stay rising and aligned with all the divine gifts ahead.